My name's Brian, this is my wife Ellen. We live in a 4-bedroom bungalow in northwest Dorset. The bungalow was built in the late 1960s and it has always had oil central heating. Living in a village as we do, with about 500 people, the options for heating are limited to LPG, electric storage heaters or oil. None of those are very cost effective at the moment. Everybody knows how the cost of electricity is going up, the cost of oil and gas is going up all the time. In fact, while we've lived here for 9 years, the cost of oil has more than doubled. So the village got together to buy oil as a syndicate once a month. The problems with that is it's only once a month when you can have oil. We found ourselves at one stage running out of oil in the middle of a month because it was just after Christmas and we'd used a lot of oil. We were at the stage where we had to turn the heating off and just run the hot water and use our fire as their sole means of heating.
And also the risk of when the oil goes up, more people are willing to steal it from you. It's very difficult to keep an eye on it, to lock the tank and to make them secure.
And we received a telephone call from Energize offering to send us information. They're a very easy company to deal with. There's no sales pitch, they're not pushing themselves, they're not after making a sale. What they're interested in doing first is giving you some information, answering your questions, telling you what the possibilities are. They do it in a very friendly manner and then they leave you to make the decision.
On our initial visit to a customer's house, we would do a preliminary survey, which would give us an accurate measurement of what the heat loss in the home was. If the customer decides to go further, we would then undertake a room-by-room heat loss survey, which would then give us the exact heat loss of someone's house. To install a Daikin Altherma High Temperature, you would be looking between 2 and 3 days, depending on the size of the property.
The installation was about 2 or 3 hours without heat or water. I mean, we did have water, but it wasn't hot water all the time. So that was fine, no problem at all.
The system is very easy to use. It's set up to run automatically. It's run by the controller and the controller is set to give a temperature variant over time. So you set the minimum temperature that you want the room to be overnight and during the day, and the boiler will follow that profile. You set the heating by your normal thermostatic switch on the wall, and the difference in temperature of feeling comfortable and feeling cold is very close. We hardly make any adjustments, so it's comfortable all the time. Having the heating on all the time, you don't go to this stage in the winter of about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon where everything's getting cold and you're thinking the heating's not coming on until 4:30, etc.
We find that Daikin Altherma is giving people a better sensation for their heating. They're finding in some occasions their homes are actually warmer, having the right sized radiators as well as the right sized heating system for their home.
The economics of running the system are based around with the fact we won't be paying £1,000 a year for oil. We expect to pay about £20 a month, which is £240, £250 a year more on our electricity bill. So we will be better off to the tune of £750 a year based on our current estimates.
The biggest benefits of the Daikin Altherma High Temp is obviously the cost saving against oil and LPG, as well as the security of oil. People aren't reliant now on the oil truck coming through the village and having to wait for the best price. They've now got a constant supply of heat without having to worry about having to top up their oil tank halfway through the winter.
When my mother-in-law comes, who likes a constant heat of about, 26 degrees, which for me is hot. We used to go and look at the sensor in the utility room and you could almost see the boiler drinking the oil, and it got quite frightening sometimes. It just used to rapidly disappear, whereas this system, we could just twiddle it up and keep her warm and there won't be any problem about the oil running out, which is one of the things that was always on my mind when she was here. It's just peace of mind as much as anything.